checking the cam specs on this cam. We're using the dial indicator method for finding TDC, which is the most important part of this step. So what we're going to do is we're going to move the degree wheel. Right now we're dot to dot on the crank and cam. So we're going to move this till it comes up to TDC and just starts to go back down. Right about, we're going to go back and do it again here. Right about, right in there. So we should be pretty close to 0 TDC right there. The first thing we're going to do, got a dial indicator on the intake cam lobe. And we're going to go around, go clockwise. We're going to check the event, the intake cam event here. Okay, the intake valve's starting to open. Okay, we're going to go back. We're going to zero our indicator. We're going to check it at 50 thousandths of cam lift. It's hard to do. Okay, we're at 50 thousandths. So right now we're showing about 6 degrees before TDC. And on the spec card it shows 5 degrees, so we're within 1 degree. And if you look right here, we show, it says -5 degrees, so 5 degrees before TDC. Now we're going to look at the intake valve closing event. Okay, the valve is closed right there. 80, we're going to go 50 thousandths there. And so it's 150 on the big mark, but on intake valve closed after bottom dead center, we're going to read that in the black. So we're reading right at about 30 degrees. Intake closes at 29 degrees after bottom dead center. So we're only 1 degree off there.
Which is all acceptable.
Which is acceptable. That's kind of the theme that we're going here. And we could have been just a hair off on our top center, just by a small amount. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the indicator on the exhaust lobe. Okay. And right now we are on the base circle of the camshaft. Might be kind of hard to see, but we are totally opposite of the exhaust cam lobe. So I'll go ahead and zero the indicator. We are going to bring it around. Okay, exhaust valve just starting to open. Oop, not quite there. Fooled me. Okay, now it's starting to open. We're going to go 50 thousandths. We'll stop there. So exhaust open before bottom center. We are going to check it in the black here. So this is 40, this is 50. We are right about 44 degrees before bottom dead center. And our spec card, exhaust opens 44 degrees before bottom dead center. So that one's right on. Now we're going to check the exhaust closing event. And right now we're just passing the peak of the exhaust lift, coming back down around to where the exhaust valve closes all the way. Okay, exhaust valve is completely closed right there. Now we're going to back it up 50 thousandths of an inch. Check the exhaust closing event at 50 thousandths of an inch. And right here we show 10 degrees after top dead center on the exhaust closing event. Right here we show exactly exhaust closing at 10 degrees after TDC. Now, the next thing I want to do real quick before we end this video, we want to check the intake center line of the camshaft, which is the most important thing about degreeing a cam. If you only do that, that's, like I say, the most important. And if that comes out, you should be good to use your cam. So we're going to go back to TDC on compression stroke. What we're going to do, typically we would find TDC with the dial indicator, which is right there. And then real close to there, we've already got the degree wheel set, so we know it's right there. So that's on 0. We've got our other dial indicator on the intake cam lobe. So what we want to do is we want to find the peak of the intake cam lobe. So there's our intake starting to open. And when it stops on the dial indicator, it's going to be right at the peak. So right now we're right on the peak of the intake lobe. So what we're going to do, we're going to 0 the dial indicator. And we're going to go 50 thousandths of an inch on either side of the peak of the intake lobe. So there's 50 thousandths. We're going to take a reading. We're showing 150 degrees. We're going to record that 150, and we're going to go back to the peak. Then we're going to go down 50 thousandths on the other side of the peak. And we're at about 63 and a half. We're going to say 64. It's pretty close. Take your 150 plus your 64. Comes out to 214. 214 on your card. 214 is the number here. This is the amount of time in crankshaft degrees that the intake valve is open. Divide that number by 2 which straight down the center is going to be 107 degrees. So 107 degrees intake center line. That's what this cam is ground to, a 107 degree intake center line. And that comes out perfect. You add the two together, divide by 2, it should come out the same as the car.